Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Speener here, and I'm joined by my lovely guest host.
Simply Troy.
Today, we're gonna go over something that has kind of been lit up on Twitter ever since Swag uploaded his video, and that topic is gonna be Madara versus the new 5 Kage. Actually, a lot of people are talking about Kage versus the new 5 Kage, but I'm sure that'll get brought up somewhere in this video.
That's more complicated than the model.
Yeah, we're gonna start with Madara, right? And in order to understand kind of where we're gonna go with this, you need to understand Madara's narrative. Or in order to understand Madara's narrative, you need to understand Hashirama's narrative, which is just Hashirama was the benchmark for most of the series. He was that nigga, right? Like, it was like, oh, I'm trying to get them Hashirama cells. I'm trying to be like him, like, right, Troy?
Yeah, even with like just a few bit of his cells, niggas powered up to be like Jodine and Akashi level and stuff like that. So you kind of see how powerful he was.
Like, Donzo thought that it was okay to experiment on hundreds of children with the hopes of making a single one that could use Hashirama's wood style.
we even see it still in Boruto. Like his cells are getting sold on the black market, and not even normal people can't control them. Like they put a cell in their body, they go out of control. Defeat Jodine belief and stuff like
Bro,
that.
they act like Hashirama cells are the cure for cancer, the cure for AIDS, like... Oh my god. Whenever you have this, like, all-perfect Saint Hashirama, you then have his counterpart, which... Troy, how many times is it stated that these two are rivals? Like, Madara and Hashirama?
So many times. Like, mostly every time they're even brung up, it's followed by a statement of them being rivals and how they built Konoha together and stuff like that.
And while Hashirama, like, can win every fight for whatever reason... Actually, if you watch Troy's video about Hashirama versus Minato, it was a 6 debate. 6 thinks it, or alleges that it was because of healing or regen or whatever. But Hashirama always reigns supreme. But it's stated Madara is relative in power, right?
Yeah, it is.
So, we just have, like, this absolute benchmark that Madara scales to, which is Hashirama is the strongest shinobi. Nobody touches him. Nobody fucks with him. Just this crazy benchmark. And Madara's right there with him. And this continues in the war. Whenever we see things like Madara fucking dropping meteors in a form that may be weaker than the form we're going to use EMS Madara with the QB, right?
Yeah.
And we just get this consistent opinion that, like, Madara is the strongest in the verse. But then we kind of go deeper into the alien side of Naruto, the much more weird side. And we notice that these people...
Kaguya and all of that.
And we find out that these people ain't shit. Like, Hashirama in the face of Kaguya is not shit.
Yeah, like a guy who's known for like his tree jutsus and all over the leaf, known as like the god of Shinobi. Then comes this woman who can obliterate entire world.
Literally just
like a new step up.
Just decides she wants to like erase dimensions. So we like come to understand that even like the Jubi and Jubi Jinchuriki dwarf Hashirama greatly in power. And they just keep stacking Jubi over Jubi over Jubi over Jubi over Jubi Madara over Kaguya over...
Stacking renegades, just whipping out eyes out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we have to identify one that Madara isn't really the strongest as he was portrayed to be. And I think a lot of people, the reason why they hold on to this belief that Madara is like beating a ton of these Otsutsuki and Boruto is because they held so closely to that narrative, Troy.
Yeah. And they also look at it like, oh, Madara was so important in this war, it's kind of silly how these new Kage would just come in like and beat his ass. Like, I just can't believe it. Shit like that. Fine for casuals to think that, but they're not. They're just not right.
Mm-hmm. I need to do 2 things before we actually scale the 5 Kage, because I think that's pretty good scaling for Madara. 1, if you are a Madara fanboy, the rest of this video will upset you. You will be very upset. 2, you need to understand that Boruto power scaling is mad whack. And it retcons some of the things that were previously showed to us in Naruto. Like, people can use ninjutsu on Jubi Jinchuriki. Previously, that was something that could only happen if you had senjutsu. But, I don't know, there's just... You have to take something in real quick. It's like power scaling in DBZ. Imagine Dragon Ball was a bit more nuanced, and that there was like a firm skill power cap to the original Dragon Ball series. People would probably think that Master Roshi, that firm power cap, is gonna beat, like, Saiyan Saga Vegeta. It's just, whenever you've established this power cap, you believe it to continue, even when it doesn't.
And it's also, I understand, like, from a casual point of view, it's kind of hard just to switch off like, when you think someone to just be the tippity top of power, think him just to be overwhelmingly above all of the normal people, besides, of course, like Naruto and Sasuke, who will continue to grow throughout the series. It is hard to think that normal niggas like Otsutsuki, Darui, and Gaara can just come up and surpass him.
Mm-hmm. And so, I guess people probably know where we're going with this, but I want to input a little bit, which is, there are two ways of establishing Boruto's power scaling. The first is to say Momoshiki isn't actually that strong, and therefore everyone else who scales to him isn't that strong. The second is to say Momoshiki is actually that strong, and everyone else just scales really high now. Like, way higher than what was previously ever shown. Troy, do you want to give evidence for why, like, one interpretation is definitely over the other?
Yeah. The interpretation of Momo is that strong and everyone just scales that high makes the most sense, because we see after the period of Naruto Shippuden that they have to train up and get way stronger because of threats like Kaguya and how they weren't prepared. That's also the reason why the scientific ninja tools were created, so normal people can be able to defend themselves against Otsutsuki and stuff like that. Even in the novels, this is extrapolated upon more.
So now that we've kind of established why this power scaling is janky, right? And why it had to be janky for the series to continue, we can finally go into why the Gokage absolutely wiped their assholes with Madara's fucking edgy-ass fuckboy femboy hair.
And it ain't close.
It isn't close.
At all. Like,
the Gokage, all of them in some way, shape, or form, scale to Momoshiki, Fused Momoshiki, or Kinshiki. We will not be using Naruto for this video, but we will be using Shikamaru in his stead.
Yeah.
Which, if you were to take feats from the novels to be true, Shikamaru has the ability to completely hold down all 5 Kage, and the only one who can break out of his shadow paralysis is Naruto by going into his Kyuubi state. That is disgusting.
So, if we want to take this feat to mean that Naruto only with his Kyuubi can overcome Shikamaru, and Shikamaru just scales above base Naruto, well, that's even enough, because base Naruto scales to, like, Fused Momo. And even base Momo was saying he could, like, just casually beat up Kaguya. Kaguya feared his existence and all that. Like, he came to Earth, and he was like, oh, Kaguya sealed away, or Kaguya's dead. They saved me the trouble of punishing her myself, with, like, just laughing at her. So Kaguya obviously wasn't that strong in comparison to Momo.
And one of the worst parts about comparing Kaguya to Momo is, a lot of people say, oh, Kaguya feared the entire clan. Ishiki states that after his death, there are no more living Otsutsuki. The clan is just Momoshiki and Kinshiki.
And the Urshiki, if you count anime.
If you count anime. Yeah. That's disgusting. So Kaguya, on her own, or with the usage of a million bajillion Zetsu, right? She was going to turn the entire planet into Zetsu. Was still worried about whether or not she could beat Momo and Kin.
And just to kind of add to, like, how worried she was, the children that she cried for, loved, and tried to protect, she was willing to kill them and take their chakra, just fearing the existence of Momo. Like, her own children kind of added.
You know, the children that her husband, or that, like, her only ever friend died to try and protect?
Yeah.
Like, do you know how ridiculous that is at the end of the day?
And that's just Momo's existence. It's not like Momo pulled up and just beat her ass. That's just him, the thought of him.
The idea of Momo and Kinshiki coming towards her drew her to do all this. That's insane.
It's really sad when you look at it. Yeah. People hype up Kaguya, but she just fears him this much. She's willing to do anything and everything.
And even whenever we get to War Arc, right? Because I guess I need to make a video soon, but War Arc Kaguya is exponentially stronger than the Kaguya we saw fight Hagoromo.
The Kaguya we saw fight Hagoromo might be the weakest because she had to split her chakra between Hamura and Hagoromo.
Mm-hmm. She's the weakest, for sure. Yeah. Oh, no, because Pregnant Kaguya is the weakest.
Yeah. Pregnant Kaguya might be. Yeah.
Because she, like, can't even react to flaming arrows.
She's kind of trash. She's like she like used one like a wind shit to try to blow off an arrow and almost collapse. Like, she's pretty bad.
Basically, you have this like Kaguya that's exponentially stronger, and then she gets exponentially stronger once again by absorbing the power of those in the Infinite Tsukiyomi. And she still is like scared about, even after all these amps, she's still scared of Momo and Kid.
She has fucking. She has the person y'all wank off the most modern Uchihas with a Rene Sharingan and dual Renegons as a base, with like more chakra from the Shinobi line
than he could ever contain on in his own body.
Yeah.
But let's explain more in depth about why the 5 Kage scaled the Momo, because I think a lot of people have that misconception that like, oh, it was all teamwork. No. Yeah. Otsutsuki blatantly reacts to fused Momo at least once and is able to nearly one-tap Kinshiki.
Like, Kinshiki slices Chojuro, and before he can attack again, she pops up out of the ground, reveals herself, and like hits him and pushes him through the God tree that's in whatever dimension they were.
And Chojuro was just waiting for that attack. He knew it would come. Gaara may be the most impressive of the 5 Kage, depending on your rendition of the fight. In the anime, Gaara Sand absolutely tanks a punch from fused Momoshiki. He not only reacts to the same fused Momo that like speed blitz the rest of the 5 Kage, his Sand just tanks a punch from it.
But we don't want to see comments like, oh, what if you just tail beat on? Gaara Sand can block it. Like, no difficulty.
No difficulty.
It's not getting through whatsoever.
If you look at like a different rendition, like, Troy, can you cover what happened in the manga? I don't remember it too well.
Yeah. In the manga, what happened is he used his Sand to grab on the Momoshiki's body. And I think Momoshiki does like hit him and one tap him in the manga. But his Sand even be able to catch Momo. That's still a feat in of itself.
And the way that Momo breaks out of the Sand is by like choking him out with his hair. So it's like Gaara is obviously off guard to this ability. So like, while they may not scale all the way up to fused Momo, they like very obviously have the ability to scale to Momo and Kinshiki. And it doesn't matter how well they scale to Momo and Kinshiki, because either of them is absolutely destroying Madara without a second thought.
Yeah. Madara is just not, he's not on the level of Boruto. He was fine in Shippuden. He's not what he used to be.
Do we want to do extra credit of 3-Eye Madara?
Yeah, we can even put 3-Eyed Madara in there. Like,
it doesn't change the outcome.
It's so quick. Even if you want to say, oh, Madara is immortal, even if they like blitz at one shot, he's gonna live.
Ceiling.
Gaara Sand is so quick, it'll just blitz and seal him. And Kuretsuji and Chojuro also have
ceiling. Yeah.
Ceiling.
They can literally just stack ceiling on ceiling on ceiling.
They're gonna blitz, like, cut him up and seal him. Or just seal him.
Or Chojuro, a more unique win condition. Chojuro's sword can absorb chakra. He just absorbs the Susanoo.
Yeah, it's bad for Madara. Like, they counter his hacks and they like just have stats to just bitch him.
The only way Madara could even possibly win is by some sort of genjutsu. Yeah. The most significant issue with this is they are so much faster than him that no amount of genjutsu is making up for it.
He's not going to be able to fly up, look at the moon, and just say that chant while they're just like rushing at him. They're going to blitz him. I don't even think he's going to get to fly up.
The 5 Kage demolish Madara. And I'm sorry if you had to hear it here first, but it's not close. I really want you guys to go subscribe to my boy Simply Troy. He's up and coming. I want him to hit 1K soon. I think we can definitely get him to about half of that just with this video. I want you all to go subscribe to him. I'm going to do more collabs with him in the future, both on my channel and his. And I think we all have a video. Me, you, and Six have a video coming out, don't we?
Yeah, we have an upcoming video. Don't want to spoil it, but Peak Woman versus Not So Peak Woman. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
So it's like Tamari versus Tsunade or something?
Delta Supremacy.
Anyways, good night, guys.